Good afternoon. This is Joe Krutsinger with our once-a-month recalibration issue, both for TradeStation and Ninja Traders. I suggest you all get the PDF because the numbers are small and there's a lot of them. It takes me almost 18 hours to do these recalibrations every month, so you don't have to use them, but I think I'd take a look at them if I were you. All right, here we go. This presentation will show strategies of historical simulations, and as such they are hypothetical. Here's the disclaimer, and again, all you need to do is contact me at JoeKrut@gmail.com and I'll send you a PDF where you can print out and read all the small print. But these are simulated results. Just to keep up with our shapes, which was originally tuned on the Russell on June 23rd of 2013, it's almost 4 years ago, and you can see that it basically topped out at that market change of March 21st of 2016, and that tune just hasn't worked since. This kind of shows you what I'm trying to teach when I do the switcher and when I do trend lines on equity curves. If you run a trend line on that equity curve, you would have been out with about $49,000 and on the side, and been able to take that money and put it in something else. In the meantime, you can watch the equity curve, and when it breaks that downtrend, when it comes back into sync, you can go ahead and trade that tune again. But this is a perfect example of how to correctly use the switcher. Now these are the settings for all the shapes tunes as of May 18th, and you can basically, if you're only going to do one or two of them, you can pull up your existing workspace, save it with for instance, if you're going to do shapes on the Russell, you could say shapes Russell 5/18/2017, and you could type these numbers in and save them. Otherwise, I do have all the TSWs posted at the JK member sites, so you can go and download them in groups of either the shapes, the razor with ribbons, the bar none, so you can download them that way. And of course, the third way is you can just contact me, and I'll be glad to use TeamViewer and get on your machine and put all new workspaces on and make sure everything's perfect. I will suggest that everything should be at 9.5 now, TradeStation 9.5, the latest builds, because TradeStation will not support 9.1 in a very short time. They're going to stop that support. So make that transfer, and if you need help with that, again, get a hold of me, and I'll be glad to help you do that. As with the shapes, here's the razor inputs, and you can see the Joe's Best, the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can just get them off the particular tables. And again, you need any help with this, I'll be glad to help you do that. Here's the razor with ribbons, and you can see both the time period. For instance, the ESM is on a 5-minute bar, the TFM is on a 1-minute bar. You can also see the custom session, when you should get out, 8:32:59, 9:33:55, like that. And then the inputs. If it's got a little pink behind it, those numbers don't change. It's just the ones that are in white and yellow that change. Last one, this is the bar none, and I also added there for those of you who like to look at the swing systems. You can see crude oil 60-minute swing system and the natural gas 60-minute swing system using bar none. And the way you do that is you just turn off the timer exit and turn off the exit and end of day. Here's the results for each of the three major systems: shapes, razor with ribbons, and for each of the individual markets. We can see razor with ribbons lost about $162, which is a scratch when you're doing 53 trades, includes slip and commission. And the other two, they took a pretty good hit this month. And here's the Joe's Best and the original, and then the bar none, so you can see which system did what. For instance, the mid cap on the bar none made $21.95. It was the best for the month. And if you go to the Russell on the bar none, it lost 17.10. So that's how you read that table. Here's a new table that kind of shows you the whole results. You can see that the best commodity in this month with my stuff has been the mini Dow. That's the one I trade with razor, and the best individual trader was the bar none on the mid cap, and the best group was the ribbons, only losing $162 on all the trades. I think it was 53 trades in that. Now this next record is real time. This is the system that I use in my IRA with ribbons, with Razor on the mini Dow. Let's take a look at that. This shows 1 month and 11 days we've been trading the Razor. It's up $1,384 in real time after slip and commission. There's been 19 trades in that period, 42% correct. Annual rate of return, there's over 200%. It's only in the market less than 6% of the time, and the drawdown's been less than $450. This is the one I think is probably the superior. And those of you who, you got to have 12 trades a month basically to get a free TradeStation. This one will probably do that, and it's one of the reasons I picked it. It trades about the right frequency. It has a very small stop, and it performs fairly well. Now we're going to go for Ninja traders, and with Ninja you can test not only the inputs, but you can test the bar length. And so this particular month, this is a 3-month test, and it shows that the 25-minute bar for the E-mini S&P came out to be the best in the optimization. This shows you the settings and the inputs there on the left, and then over on the right it shows you the equity curve, and you can see it topped out, had a drawdown, and then it's resumed its trend. So I think running a trend line on that equity curve, and if it breaks down again, pulling away, that's the appropriate way to trade it. Here's the FDAX. This is on a 10-minute bar, and again, this is only a 3-month period, making $19,009, and 73% of the trades are correct. So it looks pretty decent, and there are lower commissions usually for the FDAX. I misspoke before. It's not lower commissions, it's lower margins for day trades. And since this thing gets out at 10:05 in the morning Eastern, this will qualify as a day trader. You can see that equity curve, and that looks pretty decent. So that's something you might want to consider, is that 10-minute FDAX on shapes. Here's the bonds on Ninja, and it's with the shapes, we're looking at 63% right, $5,500 in a 3-month period. Pretty decent, and we'll look at the settings here in a second. Well, this is a 6-minute bar with 1-minute resolution. The stop's pretty heavy at $750, but once you make $275, it risks 50% of the profit. So that's how that works. It also gets out by 9:55 Central Time, so about 10 o'clock it's done for the day. Here's shapes on the NASDAQ, kind of a strange bar, 44-minute bar, but pretty good performance. $7,000 in 3 months, 65% of the trades are correct. Largest losing trade was $410, so that's one to take a look at also. Here's the inputs on that 44-minute NASDAQ bar, and you can see you got a $410 stop, and once you make $410, it risks 100% of the profits. But that's the way that one goes. It's out at 1:35 Chicago time. Here's mini Dow on shapes with a 5-minute bar, 3 months, very high percent right at 93%. And we'll take a look at the inputs and get a feel for this, but that's awfully high percent correct. Well, here's one of the secrets of why you can get a high percent correct. You risk more money on any one trade. This has a big stop of $670, and once it makes $520, it still risks 80% of the profits. It's out about 2 o'clock Chicago time, and it's got a great equity curve and a great percent right, but there is a lot bigger risk on every per trade. These monthly videos have an awful lot of information in them, and the detail as far as the workspaces and the inputs may be overwhelming to you. So just get on etrackrecords.com, go to the support tab, follow the instructions, and I'll be glad to install the things, fix the things, set up the inputs. There's never a charge for a client. That's what I'm here to do. My main products are ideas, service, and support when you need it. Remember, I offer a red ribbon trial using TeamViewer. I can get on the machine and install any of my systems, and you can watch them. Those of you who have Ninja, I have both bar none and shapes available. Those of you who have TradeStation, I have Razor with ribbons, shapes, and bar none available. And I'll be glad to put any of them that I have on the machine for free for 14 days, and make sure it's a right fit for you before you spend a dime. Well, my suggested next step is call my office at 913-334-2202 and get a copy of this PDF, because like I said, there's lots of information here, and if you want to change those inputs, it's a lot easier to do from the PDF than it is watching the video. I also have special offers to my clients on all my products. If you already have one of my systems, you get a discounted price on any new stuff. My direct email is JoeKrut@gmail.com, and of course our website is etrackrecords.com. Well, good luck and great trading. Be sure to take a look at YouTube at Joe_Krutsinger, and you'll see all my videos there. And again, if you have any questions, you need anything, please feel free to give me a call. Good luck and great trading. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.